scales of measurement. I kind of had a little bit difficult time understanding this, but now I think I got it. We're going to talk about 4 different scales: nominal scale, ordinal scale, interval scale, and ratio scale. Let's look at each of these individually. Nominal scale, it's a set of categories that have different names. In other words, it's not like a numeric values. It's like, either a male, the variable, and a male, female, something like that, or sometimes the variable can be, where you belong to, like a school name, University UNL, UNK, UNO. That can be a nominal scale. Those are also nominal scales. So it's like a categories. The company you work for, that's a nominal scale. Okay. Cars, for example, by the maker: Ford, Toyota, Chevy, Honda, Subaru, thing like that. Also, country of origin, this student is from Mexico, US, Canada, England, Japan. These country names can be, country of origin can be a variable, and that's measured on nominal scale. Ordinal scale. What's ordinal scale? It's order. It's coming from the order, like first, second, third, fourth. For example, place in a race: first place, second place, third place, and fourth place. Those are measured on nominal scale, ordinal scale. You can tell Bob was the first, Sue was the second, John was the third, and Jim fourth. You can tell the order, but you can't really tell how far apart Bob and Sue are, and how far apart Sue and John are. How far apart John and Jim, Bob and John, Bob and Jim, etc. You can't tell that because first, second, third, and fourth, it doesn't have any actual time record or anything. It just have the order. So that's ordinal scale. So we can tell the direction of difference, but not the magnitude of difference. Bob is faster than Sue. You can tell that, but how fast, how different, you can't tell that. Okay, that's ordinal scale. Interval scale. Interval scale is like a, it's one of the, well, it's actually easy to identify. Interval scale is like a, it's order categories with equal intervals, like a, scale, thermometer, things like that, but contains no true 0 point. So that's why I said thermometer. Okay, Celsius temperature scale. See, this is 0 degrees Celsius, and the next one, 1 degrees and 2 degrees Celsius, 3 degrees, and the other direction is minus 1 degree Celsius, minus 2 degrees Celsius, minus 50 and minus 50. These are, with 50 and 50, it's the same distance, different directions, and this is 0. But this 0 is not the actual true 0. 0 means it's nothing, but 0 means it's some sort of heat still here. Total lack of heat is considered to be minus 273.15 degrees Celsius, but nobody knows for sure, right? And so this 0 is just arbitrary, and just for the convenience, and that's that's a interval scale. On the other hand, ratio scale. This is something you see more often than others, I guess, in interval, ordinal, and ratio. This is something I'm most familiar with. Consists of order categories and equal intervals between the category boundaries. and contains a true 0 point. So that's the only difference between the interval and ratio. That a 0 does indicate a complete lack of the variable. Okay, 0-year-old is when you were born, and 10 years old, 15, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Okay, and 0 means no time has passed. 10 means 10 years has passed. 15 years passed. So it's true 0 and category boundaries are equally spaced. 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4 are equally spaced. Interval and ratio. What do you care about the 0 points? If we have a true 0 point ratio scale, we can measure the absolute amount of variable. And this allows us to compare measurements in terms of ratios, right? Okay. What that means is that, see, this is the measure on ratio scale: 5 years old, 10 years old, 25, 50 years old. But we can turn into an interval scale, based on the average of all the ages of all the people. Let's see. So, for example, 14 years younger than the average, 9 years younger than the average, 4 years younger than the average, 1 year older than the average, 6 years older, 14 years younger, 19 years younger, 11 years older, 1 year older, 31 years older than the average. When you use the interval scale, you obviously can't use ratio. Ratio is not going to be valid. See, for example, this person, because he is 50 years old and this person is 25 years old. So, this person is 2 times older. But, this calculation is not valid on interval scale because it's, all these values are subtraction of the average. So 6 and 3, so this person is not like 5 times older, right? So ratio scale, you can have ratio, but interval scale, don't think about the ratio because it's not going to be valid. So don't be confused. That's what's very important.